used to say that I loved them before the panic was something, and now look at me. Regret the consumption, face of the substance, forget the weed, I'm talking about everything, losing control, forget those boulders by any means, no longer that 17, almost 30, don't let him see that you're a different version of the person you used to be. I remember that little kid right before he became a fiend, if only I knew what I knew now back at 23. My parents are worried, I bet the judgment is bittersweet, your assumptions are correct, but being right couldn't get me clean. The cost of a whisper's nothing when listening and talk is cheap, come pay me a visit when you've been living as poor as me. I know what the issue is, just look what addiction did. I used to silence voices, what I mixed the depression with. No effort to make it stop, free hits and you getting robbed. More than my bank account, how much does addiction cost? Higher than you imagine while trying to pursue a passion. Drugs don't make you an artist, you've either got it or haven't. The half is 50% and the other's all of my habits. My conscience big as with being, I guess I needed more practice. Honest meant being ugly, live the human condition. Slip through cracks of the system, they just assume I was different. It's either that or addiction, don't even have a prescription. I grab it right off the shelf, my secret shame is a liquid. And I'ma drink to that, toast the excuse. Back on the juice, I might splash cash on my whistle, but not a drop on my suit. Dress for success means I've got a lot to improve. Refer to the second person, but not as often as you. And I've been good lately, but never not in the mood. My parents hate me, clean don't mean a mop and a broom. I'm still your baby, made it past 22, it's amazing. I'm 20 yet now, to think about 30 is devastating. So I don't mind waiting. Where will you be in 10 years? Seeing my friends pushing up daisies. The older we get, the more we lose. The cost is changing, but that's the price we pay to hide the pain. Demand is crazy, so we put ourselves in debt to forget. Remember that. I hate to say I told you so, so I read it back. I spoke my own eulogy from an antidepressant pack. Here lies experience of existence you'll never have. How much a dollar really cost? More than I got, with only me to blame. My pocket's full of notes that can't be changed. They might not be worthless, but to them it ain't worth shit. When you didn't wear my shoes, all your soul was a burnt bridge. My clothes reek of failure in cologne that I couldn't quit. The same as the old man at the hole with the toothless grin. Sitting all alone, you never know I'm the future him. I hope my kids say that was back when Dad used to drink. How much addiction cost? Please tell me it's okay to take away something I've made and have second thoughts the morning after today. In and out became responsibility, up and down we waste fertility. No voice, get rid of me. The horizontal shuffle symphony, no strings, church villainy, dancing without the devil on 2 left feet and bed sheets. It takes 2 to tangle. Hate opinions, hate myself. I played fucking God, Jesus Christ, sex sells. Imagine the mistake you carried after the one-night stand before marriage. Unseen damage, appointments of panic, destroyer or manager, boy or a Sally, a choice or a tally. Sometimes it's the girl who cries wolf, howling about what she's having to keep her partner happy, because sometimes a second chance doesn't last, a third miscarriage. Something's dying inside. Say goodbye to being a daddy. If you want it, then we'll manage. It's either a burden you carry or a miracle you hold. Complicated, no name, this many old. I've only been alive for 4 weeks. The reborn concrete leaf. I've loved, been loved, done drugs, tried suicide once, got lucky and even had a birthday once. I'll be 28 in 12 months. Time flies when you're dying, huh? I've counted many things on my fingers through an 8-year winter, and when I got to 10, I decided to mind my own business, which kept me on my toes. It was in my best interest. Tall tales, 6 foot 2 inches, stretched to my limit, trying to fit the 4 weeks into 2 minutes. Limit sickness. But every fall counts, and from the top of the tree to the ground is around about 0 to 3 sixes. I couldn't climb any higher. The devil in me told me when something's broken, you don't fix it. And he's a good liar. The angel on my shoulder is whispering in my ear, but it's too quiet. I listen close and he says, you're like a puppet show without the wires. All this self-manipulation and lack of maintenance is making me tired, and my chipped tooth is proof that I'll quit before I retire. I'm damaged goods wrapped in fragile pride for the next buyer, and I feel real sorry for the next poor girl who decides to buy it. No refunds, bitches. Well, that was loud, wasn't it? This auction is silent. Keep some dignity for your troubles after all that hard work before I kill you with kindness. By the way, that opportunity won't come cheap, so I'll start the timer. 200 heartbeats per minute. Anxiety is my secret admirer. 4 weeks as a survivor. I know it's too late now, but I heard it's best just keep some things private. I'll lose a friend tomorrow, but he won't die. Not his physical body, but maybe inside, by something he can easily find. He doesn't see it coming, but I do, like he knew, so weed news. I would stop, but he'd refuse. It's got you, man. It's got you. Truth. Abuse without a bruise. One hit can lead to repercussions. Reefer speed and uppers feed the fiends the empty cupboards. I said, you should get some sleep, but he disagreed because he is stubborn. He said, please leave me alone to suffer. I lost a friend today and I did nothing. But he didn't die. It was more like living on thin ice in a glasshouse pipe with a rock on standby for a damned life he's willing to just throw away for a high price. But his sad thing is, he can afford it. What about your daughter? And what we talked about as kids? And what will I tell mine? You're not the same anymore, man. He said he was clean, but he lied. I could see in his pride and the bags under his eyes. I lost a friend yesterday, but he didn't die. The drugs took him, and I never got to say goodbye. All right. Help me, he said. Give him another crossroad to inspect. The delicate exterior, almost like glass, reflected his deep draining detest of events. The past was just a word sometimes. It didn't need to make sense. He repeated self-construction in his head, forever the journey, build and conquer. Never divide, that could be an outcome you can't reverse. Split personality, some of them are free, some of them work, some of them are emotional, some of them are worse. Was hiding an acceptable challenge? Was crossing the line just a loss of balance? Watch and enjoy the vacation, cigarettes and work at hands, temporary peace and one hell of a crash. Numbers ruled him and he counted on the disgust. He handles pressure with a fuss and downplays his coping mechanism. His garments aren't an extension or an image, they are merely a cloak for what's underneath. His shoes were worn and told a story of release. 12 steps are fuck all compared to the big picture, and saving time don't mean sleep. He was heavy at the eyelids and wasted no time catching Z's. Buried alive, 6 feet something with a busy grip, no regrets, and an inside joke folded into a payslip. Thank you.